we have to put up with Reince Priebus over there on TV. He beat him by 3,000 votes. I am told, I hope this is accurate, that your opponent in 2011 recall actually was asked to say one nice thing about you and said, quote, "Everybody likes him." I haven't met one person that doesn't like him. I mean, how the heck do they even bother to run against you? But the truth is, you know, this guy's not a self-promoter. He listens and he gets the job done. And from my point of view, the issues that I've worked on over the years, he is pushing on these things. This is the guy that pushed forward a joint resolution in the state legislature to condemn this ridiculous decision in Citizens United that lets corporations try to control our democracy. He spent his time getting that done. He also wants to make sure that we get at this problem through corporations. You know, if corporations are going to be able to spend the money you spend on toothpaste, they ought to be accountable to their shareholders for that. And that is the kind of legislation that he's passing. He also, I understand, did a joint resolution to try to see if we could do something about this reapportionment system. I mean, it's sad because we used to be able to do it in the legislature. It was never pretty. Never a pretty process, but it was a democratic process. But you see now the Republicans have made it so that they do things like intentionally shoving Racine and Kenosha into the same district. They're both great towns, but they're not the same place. And we know what they're trying to do. They're trying to dilute the voting rights of people in this state. And there's nothing more wrong in a democracy that was founded on one person, one vote, than to try to dilute the voting rights of Wisconsinites and Americans. So thank you. I agree with what Bob said about what's coming this next year. You know, Peter knows I've gone around the state, not just campaigning for myself, although I'm very thrilled to be doing that again, but I'm campaigning for state senator candidates, for assembly candidates. Because I'm looking at the big picture, as I'm sure you are, for 2016, which is we got a whole lot to accomplish. We got a whole lot to accomplish. And first of all, we have to elect a Democratic president.
Right.
Progress we'll get on climate change, or immigration, or education, or God forbid, the composition of the Supreme Court. All of this will go wrong, or nothing will happen if we don't get a Democrat president. Again, I normally wouldn't say that, but you know it's true this time. You've seen the debates. Look at these guys. I mean, it's an easy target, but come on, this is about the presidency. So, you know, an interviewer said to me today, I didn't say it, he says, "You saw the circus came to Milwaukee." And I didn't say that. But it is really something for people to be able to see one party's debates look angry and talking about groups of people in our country in the wrong way and sort of ridiculous behavior. And the other one, they're like adults. Democrats are respectful to each other. They are all very good at understanding the issues. I served with them in the U.S. Senate. And they want to actually solve the country's problems. So I think when it comes to January and this thing starts getting down to brass tacks, things are going to go very well in that presidential race. But we have to win Wisconsin for the Democrats. We have to. Because we're not going to win otherwise. We've done that on every election since 1988. Sometimes it's gotten a little close, but we've done it. We got to do it again. Then the next job, my job, your job, we need a new senator. Somebody with somebody who had very different views. And you know that, but just 2 or 3 things that you can say to people if they want to say, well, what's the difference? You don't want to get into some huge, detail. It's really straightforward. Ron Johnson has said he does not believe there even should be a federal minimum wage. He has voted against even raising it several times from $7.25. I believe there should be one. I believe it should be increased. I think it should be $15 an hour so people get the living wage. I don't think it's inappropriate big government as these guys like to say. When somebody has a kid, you have a baby in your family, and you need to take a little time off to be with the child, I think we should have paid family leave. It's good for the grandparents, it's good for the baby, and it's good for the business. Because they're going to have happy employees that will want to stick with them. You know what else we need?
Unions.
Yes, we do. My campaign says you're going to do a video repeating the fact that you oppose that TPP. We're against shipping those jobs overseas. Financing higher education.
Right.
Student loans. That's the one I've heard the most because I've gone to every one of I've gone to all the counties already. A bunch of them. More than once. I hear terrible anxiety. And you know, kids say it's scary to have to take a loan like that. Ron Johnson says they think it's free money. Actually, it's scary. So I did roundtables, Bob, with kids at different campuses around the state, and one of them was UWM, Milwaukee. And a girl said to me, a young lady said to me, you know, it's scary. In fact, sometimes when you go out on a first date, that's what you talk about. I said, I think you need a better icebreaker for these dates. You know, this is no way for our kids to be. Why can't we allow students to refinance their student loans like you do a mortgage? That's what Elizabeth Warren bills will do. I would support it. I would co-sponsor it. Ron Johnson voted against it. Finally, this is your fundraiser, so I need to be quiet and I shouldn't be doing a filibuster yet. Finally, Social Security.
Yeah.
People are worried about this because these guys are still coming at us. For a lot of people, Social Security is the only thing. It's very important to almost everybody else. Ron Johnson calls Social Security a Ponzi scheme. Which I thought those were things that we didn't get the money to get paid out. In fact, he said just a few weeks ago, he said, quote, this is a quote, "It is a shame that Social Security was not privatized." He's talking about the fact they wanted to do it just before the entire economic collapse. Can you imagine what would have happened?
Yeah.
I believe Social Security should be protected and enhanced and strengthened and make sure everybody knows it's going to be there for all of us. It's terribly, terribly important. Last thing I'll say is yesterday was Veterans Day, and I had a chance to visit with veterans yesterday and go up to Green Bay where there was actually an event where they had people, veterans running, were walking 22 miles. And it was about the issue of veteran suicide in this country. A very somber thing, but they were trying to turn it into something where people would recognize the issue. And then this morning, I had a chance to meet with a number of veterans in Milwaukee. You know what they told me? That they like their VA system, but they think that VA system should stay public, and Ron Johnson has said that he wants to begin to make it a private enterprise. That's not what veterans tell me. You know, after you fight for our country, you ought to have a little security to know that that program will be there, guaranteed by the government of the United States of America. Together on, and all of my friends here, I want to say I'm looking forward to the battle, and when we get down to the end of this, we're going to make sure that we win the Senate seat, but we're also going to pick up state Senate and Assembly seats. Yes. And we're going to make sure that in 2018 we elect a Democrat governor. What it's like to govern in a fair manner, not trying to divide people against each other. Bob, thank you for being a great leader, a person that brings people together, and for representing this great community.
Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you for being here, and let's all work hard in 2016.